And right now, folks, as we do each and every Wednesday at 40 past the hour, we're going to talk to our man Teddy Kekstadt. Folks, head on over to the front page of TFNN. Right under the newsletter tab, you'll see Teddy's outstanding newsletter, the Tiger Forex Report. He puts out new issues every Monday, updates throughout the week when warranted. You gain access to an archive webinar as well. You can sign up for that, folks, just by clicking on that button. It's $97, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to risk. Check out Teddy's great commentary, and don't forget about a couple of great webinars under the Services tab out there as well. Check those out. Teddy Kekstadt, good morning.
Good morning.
So we have since the last time we talked, we've had some market action, and the market thinks that we may get some cuts. Teddy, what do you think about this market, man? We get some action.
Well, I think that the media and people think we're getting cuts. I don't think the market thinks we are, because it's not reflective in the interest rate market or the currencies. So,
okay.
I honestly, that's the way I look at it. So I think it's more jibber jabber than anything else. Until there's a cut, the market's not going to react. As far as pricing in, I mean, if you look at where the 30-year and the 10-year is trading at, they're actually trading where they've already factored in. I mean, we're coming off of lows that the highs we fell from were when we already had a 3/4 point, hike factored in, and nothing ever happened. So we're already at the 1/4 point. So even if they were to cut today, we probably wouldn't get much of a move unless they really thought there was definitely another cut right behind it coming. So I honestly, I'm not even gonna think about the cuts or anything until they actually do it. I still think that Powell's gonna put up a fight before they're gonna cut it.
And where does that put you on the dollar, if I can ask? Because I appreciate the insight always, and right now the normal, just not normal, but if the market thinks there's going to be a lot of cuts, right, pressure to the downside, what do you think about the dollar right now? I got it at 97.81 as we come into the next weeks and months.
Yeah, that's a great question. We're coming off of a nice swing high that we set. What was it? 2 Fridays ago. And I honestly think that, we're hitting some nice support. If you look at the currencies and what the dollar index is really doing, you have strength in the euro US dollar predominantly, but if you look at like the US dollar yen, it's barely moving. The US dollar Canada, barely moving. So I would say that, if there's a currency that you're going to probably see a nice move in, it potentially is the US dollar yen trade, especially if crude drops to say, like, if they drop another $2, like say down to 61 or $60, I could see you have a nice little sell-off in the US dollar yen, which has been basically flatline,
Okay.
So, and I think that's a potential trade to look out for. Is it going to be a big move? I don't think it's going to be a very big move, but I think there's something there for it. So, and like I said, until we really do get a cut, I would be very cautious at trying to basically get in front of a trend right now. I would not just say, hey, they're cutting, it's time to start, buying this FX pair or selling this FX pair. If you're going to do that, I think you're going to be really, really setting yourself up for a world of hurt and some disappointment.
So as opposed to doing that, you're looking for more clarity, right? And then maybe if the move begins, then you ride the momentum versus trying to get ahead of it.
Right.
Okay.
Now I'm saying we're not breaking out of the ranges that we've been in. We're just not. We're just not. I am ready for a trend to happen. Believe me, it is going to happen. When it does, I think we will have some good moves. But until we have some solid clarity, and I even calling it, even if we don't have a rate cut, Powell's only going to be there for, he's only going to be there for what, another 7 months, So no matter what, we know that 7 months from now, the probability of a rate cut goes through the roof. So whether or not it happens beforehand or not, I just don't see them aggressively all of a sudden popping the interest rate, before he exits. I just don't see it. I just really, really don't see it. And I don't think the numbers, because a few numbers start to reflect potentially influencing the Fed's decision. 1 month does not make the Fed do anything. I think we definitely need to see August numbers, September numbers, and as we get towards the end of the year, then I think your likelihood goes up. Maybe we get a Christmas gift from Powell.
And you mentioned oil. If and I love how you walk through the U.S., Japan, U.S., a producing company, so country, of course. And if we get the pullback, do you think we're going to get that? Not the crystal ball, but it looks like right now on my charts, man, we've been trading from 70 to 63. You got lows out there around 60. Do you think that's possibly where we're heading?
I think we definitely have a good chance of spiking down to 61, 60 bucks.
Okay.
If we were to get down to 59, 58, the only thing I could really see that would remotely spur something like that is if you heard of some major increase in production out of OPEC and something like that, which, and also opening up, just dropping the sanctions on Russia. You drop the sanctions on Russia, could you imagine how much oil is going to enter the global marketplace?
Oof,
I mean,
okay.
if you want to cut inflation globally, stop the sanctions on Russia. It's not hurting Russia; it's hurting us. That's just the reality of it all, So when that happens, then you'll see oil tank like probably 10 to 15 bucks. But that's not happening anytime soon.
Okay, yeah.
So.
And what do you think about gold? Because gold's been reacting. Somewhat in tandem, but there's been some days where you have the dollar trading a little bit lower, gold trading a little bit lower. You have the tariff news that, just whatever that was. But what do you think about gold? Holding up okay, but we've got a weaker dollar right now. What do you think about gold? 34.10 right now on the futures.
Yeah, I think with gold, I think it's in a range trade. If it was to make new highs, I'd be very cautious. Look, I would think it's going to be more of a head fake spike than it's going to be any type of new trend moving higher. I like it in the range trade. I think there's enough instability to have the bull hold, but I don't think there's enough to really accelerate the rally anymore. I think as far as its asset run, is it over? I'm not even going to begin to try and call that. I just think right now it's plateaued, if you will.
Sure.
So, and especially like with the potential of rate hikes eventually looming and a bunch of other things, the market's on its highs right now. So where's the incentive to buy gold with the S&Ps and the NASDAQ making all-time highs? There's just not big money right now is riding that. Now, if all of a sudden we see a reason for a turn in the market, and especially a bleak outlook for the economy for even 6 months or so, well, then I could see gold getting a nice, trend higher for at least a couple months or a couple weeks at least. So, but until then, I think it's kind of going to stay in a range trade.
And the market agrees, Teddy, because all the S&Ps have been doing since we've been talking is going straight up to 6,500 on the futures. Pretty remarkable it is. Teddy, man, great insights, great education as always. Folks, check out the Tiger Forex Report. He's got a couple of great webinars under the services tab. He puts out a new issue every Monday. And hey, you ready for the NFL season, man? The Bears?
Sunday was the first preseason game, man. The fall's here now. Football's starting. Yeah, I am ready.
You gotta love it, right? Get the blood going. Totally. Teddy, thank you so much, man. We look forward to, of course, the Tiger Forex Report on Monday, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, man.
All right, you take care.
Take care. Folks, we'll be right back.